So many tournaments.
Looks like we're going to be going into it in just a sec.
That we are. The final game, the deciding game between Rogue and MyuNgSiK. Only one will move on to the round of 8. The other is going home, hands empty. Let's jump into the last game on Cactus Valley right now.
Junior Green Wings Rogue 이병열 vs 스베누 명식 김명식.
Top left in purple, making a comeback in this series. It's Rogue.
Down here in the bottom left, it is MyuNgSiK.
His name is his ID.
Very original.
Yes.
It's kind of a cool name there.
It is a cool name.
To be fair, MyuNgSiK is actually catchy. I like it.
His name makes up part of the Korean word for group selection, so I always get confused when I see that written.
That's pretty interesting.
It's like person ordering almost is like what it translates to, like, but that's not what his name means. But sometimes the characters are the same, so that's kind of how that works out.
Do all Korean names have meanings behind them?
Some do and some like don't. Like it depends on the Chinese characters that their names come from.
Right.
And that's where like that's like as far as I can go, because like I can't actually get into like the Chinese history of like the Hanja words, because like sometimes you have a name is in Chinese but then it gets translated into the Korean characters for it, but it doesn't, like the Korean words themselves, if you try to read them as a word, don't mean anything, but it just becomes a name. It's complicated. I think Brennan is better at explaining these sorts of things. You might want to ask him. He's got some Chinese knowledge. I don't have that.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of the names do mean something, but when you look at the Chinese characters that their names come from.
I think Andrew means strong. In, I don't know, when I Googled it.
I can't imagine what my name means, Wolf. I guess it means, like, wolf.
I think it would be. I don't know what else. I'm sure it has some sort of meaning there, like,
well,
like what the animal means or something like that.
Right. Well, I mean, like, wolf is like originally from the German name Wolfgang, which what that means is, I don't know, Mozart.
Oh, really? Well, that's pretty sophisticated, actually. That's pretty cool. I used to know. I used to work with a guy named Wolfgang when I did my work experience for high school. He was like this big, like, I guess German guy who like had like this like really thick accent, and it was at like a paper printing factory. It was the most boring stuff I've ever done in my life.
I thought you were going to say it was like a log cutting place or something.
No, it was like
actually
this guy. Like he was like control this giant printer, like this massive monstrosity, and he'd always just do that all day, print papers and stuff. And it was a horrible experience.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It was my work experience. I'm like, well, I just don't want to work.
Well, now that you're with Wolf, you get to have a fun work experience. You get to cast a game 5 of PvZ.
You're not a work gang. Sorry, you're not a wolf gang. You're a, I don't know, you're a...
I'm a proxy wolf.
You're a proxy wolf. There we go. No, actually completely forgot about that time. So long ago now. I'm so old, Wolf.
That
was like 11 years ago.
Whoa. It was a scantipede on camera there for a minute.
Scantipede?
I asked Valdez yesterday. He couldn't tell me. No one on Twitter knew. Even though like TLO was watching, he didn't know either, I don't think, because he didn't tweet at me. Can you neuroparasite a scantipede? I don't think so, but I don't know. Like, can you use for that matter, can you neuro, like, a taste slope, or...
Man, that is interesting. I think you could. You'd be only able to move it around there. Like, you can't actually attack with them.
Right.
Imagine you could, like, neuroparasite it, and it has, like...
It has an ability?
It has, like a $100 damage attack or something.
All right, I guess getting back into this game, we haven't really discussed it that much, but just been like a very slow opener, as we predicted, just describing the map. Is he going to force field this out?
He should do.
I think it's just barely too far away.
Yeah. Well, he's going to get a scout of nothing, so it's not too bad. All he sees is 2 gateways at the front, which doesn't mean anything at this point. It could mean a whole bunch of different things.
The funny thing is, like, these 2 Lings get in, but he already had an Overlord in the base also, so it just really doesn't matter at all, as it turns out.
I guess it kind of just delays everything that much more as the Overlord gets to safety.
Yeah.
He still can't put down his tag until the Lings are dealt with, but...
Is he going to take a 3rd base?
Yeah, it has to be a 3rd base from here, man, because 3 gates and nothing else. I'm surprised there's no Forge. Forge is usually the follow-up as well. Because you want a cannon on that 3rd base too.
Yeah.
Maybe he forgot it.
Oh, maybe. Oh, he doesn't see it. That's kind of unfortunate for Rogue, but I'm sure he's going to check for it in a second because this is like the most important thing for him to look for right now.
This is the #1 thing to look for. And maybe it's safe for him to assume though, because he did only see 3 gateways for the longest time. He's like, oh, you're being greedy. We do see some extra Lings just in case as well. Now that Forge has been put down, and I think MyuNgSiK did forget about it because, you know, he's got his sort of like his pylon wall ready as well for it.
Yeah.
That cannon is not going to come up anytime soon though.
Yeah, this is a bit annoying. This base is scouted now, obviously, and Lings are moving towards the position to harass and punish it.
Still a way away for Zergling speed there.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough Lings to do anything with this. I think he's just going to kind of scratch at it, you know. See if he can force some Force Field to be used, just poke a little bit, and then go into these Hydras a little bit more heavily.
That must be it. He's not going to find much else. I mean, no cannon there for now either.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying. If he had a cannon here, this would be so much easier. He's going to start it now, but he's still fine regardless. Like, that's the bottom line. Without speed, this is not getting anything. And 16 Lings on the way, and he's going to be able to start Hydras here in just a second.
All right, so this could actually do some damage. Ling speed's going to finish up in just a moment's time. He does more Lings on the map.
He doesn't have like any creep spread though, so it's going to take a while for those Hydras to get here without Hydra speed.
And we're getting actually charge for these Zealots. Interesting.
Yeah.
They're not going for the normal sort of mass blink storage, which would be pretty damn effective on this map as well.
And what is it what's be expected to see from MyuNgSiK actually?
Yeah. Okay.
He needs to make sure that wall is actually not even tight. Those Lings have just gotten in. He doesn't know that, of course, which is something that MyuNgSiK is going, oh my god, thank god he didn't know that. There's a lot of Lings here, 27 in fact. I'm going to try to actually stop this assimilator from going up. And MyuNgSiK is like panicking hard. He's got plenty of sentries. I don't think he needs to make a tight wall there.
Yeah, he's pretty fine right now. I guess he's worried about these Hydras that might be coming on the other way.
Yeah.
But these Hydras have to be so careful because if they get force fielded in, he's going to lose so many of them in that little choke.
And these Hydras do not have speed. So it's just now started.
Yeah, they're lacking maneuverability, that's for sure.
Rock's getting worked on here. With charge finishes, it's just going to be easier to deal with these Hydras. He needs to react!
Oh, doesn't time. He should be able to deal with this. Lings might actually claim a few sentries there.
Yeah, definitely going to claim a few of those.
Going to have to do that wall of force fields again.
Yeah. Oh, contaminate on the charge research.
Oh, wow.
Right at the end of it.
Oh, really important.
He actually thinks it's blink, no doubt, but it's actually charge.
Looks like it is going to be Storm behind this as well, so Charge Lot Storm, pretty powerful against this Ling Hydra composition as well.
Very old school, but, you know, so is Ling Hydra, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah. Ling's coming from behind.
Force Fields here. I don't know if I agree with how he used them. He, like, made the Hydras come even closer to this army.
Yeah, he really needs charge.
Still got that Nexus Cannon going strong, and there's charge finishing finally, and now he's going to be able to take this engagement. Guardian Shield helping out a ton here. And will finally push us back, and Rogue committed a lot of resources to this push.
Yeah, he's not really transitioning at all either. He's finally starting to drain up his, I guess, his 3rd base again. That was actually pretty all in from Rogue. And now that he knows it's charge loss, he knows that Storm's going to be close behind, so he's going to have to find a decent transition. He is adding that Roach Warren, which is going to help out against the charge lots.
His +1 was not done during any of that, so...
Yeah. Very late in that +1. MyuNgSiK in a very strong position now. He's going to have such an advantage when it comes to composition. He's going to have that powerful AoE from the Storms. And if it's only going to be a Roach Hydra, he's just never going to have a decent position to fight this army because he's always going to have to be retreating and splitting up. And he's going to have to find another way to deal with this army. Normally, you'd probably want, in the current meta, just try and get the Broodlords.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much else you can really go, right? Like, you got this Roach Hydra composition, you're going to try and bait out as many storms as you can, split your army up, retreat, maneuver as much as you can. But until you got something that can really start picking away at these Templar as well, it's always going to be a very ugly fight.
Well, the bank for Rogue like is just being depleted constantly as he's trying to go for this like second follow-up all in. There's no real transition point. I'm trying to figure out like, well, could he like do this and trade a little bit and switch to muted or something like that? No, he just really can't. Like,
No, absolutely.
he has to do like game-ending damage with this push, and I'm just not sure he can. There's 6 sentries on the map, mostly full of energy, plus 4 shields, good upgrades, charge even as well. He needs the roaches to be in the right spot to protect his Hydralisk.
But how are they ever going to be in the right spot is the next question, because look, like that little intersection alone is just so hard to engage into.
Yeah.
Unless he finds a decent fight in the middle of the map where he can get a nice concave, a nice spread, have room to maneuver, and force fields aren't that effective, I don't know if he can actually fight this army.
Well, the creep spread is so lacking as well. Like, he's going to be probably fighting off creep. Zealot harass over here, going to draw his army back, and then he's going to lose his 4th base. He's going to lose his 4th base either way. And Zealots are still in the main. They're still actually doing harassment.
Wow.
They're actually going to kill a few roaches after the drones he killed.
And very smiley, MyuNgSiK not committing just yet. You know, he's got +2 on the way, past halfway as well.
Yeah, and he's not quite maxed. Waiting for that, definitely the right choice. Just going to keep sending a few groups of Zealots at a time with charge every time coming into the main base. He's going to eventually wear some of those tech structures down. I don't know what's in the main. That looks like actually just his spawning pool in his lair, but
Yeah.
neither of which are actually too important for Rogue right now.
Well, you always want it just so you can replace queens as well and all that.
Yeah, true.
This is a pretty ugly concave, but he does have storms, so he can muscle his way in.
Yep, and that's exactly what we're starting to see him do here. I don't think he's really going to commit. I think he just wants to kind of trade against this army because he knows that Rogue is still on 3 bases and that he doesn't have a huge bank.
Yeah, that's actually not a very good fight so far. Not very confident from MyuNgSiK. He needs to get more storms in.
I think he just wants to approach a different angle, most likely, not fight like this.
Well, he's giving Rogue enough time to go into Infestus from here, and we did see Rogue win with Infestus against an army that he shouldn't have really beaten. But they were out of position last time. So, bit of a timer from MyuNgSiK.
Yeah. Okay, now he's moving around the other side. Still a tough engagement point. Oh, this is actually such a tough map to fight on. Like, the defender's always going to have the better concave.
It's so tricky to fight on this map. These storms are helping out a bit, but nice spreads from Rogue.
Oh, that was a great storm. All those Hydras, so much damage.
Maximum damage storm.
Some of them are still alive, though, and, you know, he needs to finish those off or else they are going to regen.
He's got to pay attention. He's got to watch out for these infestings because they are on the map and they are looking for those money fungals.
Just being so patient here. With Guardian Shield and the armor he has, he's going to be at like 2/2 upgrades, with you know, including the Guardian Shield. So keep that in mind. He's got a very scary tanky army here.
Looks like Rogue's going to try and fight this straight up. He does have a nice concave, but he's going to be fighting against storms once again.
Yep, and here they come. A great storm there, almost maximum damage again. And look at that, hitting that storm again. He blinks forward here. The fungals are there, but they're a bit late. And this army is just going to melt. MyuNgSiK is going to take it.
Yeah, that is way too much damage. Everything on red for the Zerg.
Yep, that's just too much. Now his Roach Warren, his infestation, but everything's exposed. And it looks like MyuNgSiK has finally closed this series out. He smiles and sits back in his chair. He knows he's done it. Rogue with the closest thing to a comeback he's ever had. Still not enough.
Not going to be finding it today. Very unfortunate for him.
GG.
Pretty ugly map to have game 5 on. We did see it's pretty hard to break any player, even with Storm.
Yeah.
Oh well.
And now everyone in the studio is going to get pizza.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man. Well, we better get some.
I hope so. I also hope it's not like sweet potato pizza.
It better be pepperoni pizza.
Pepperoni. That's what we American folk need, and you in Australia, and I suppose in this case.
Aussies love their pepperoni too.
Okay, it's whiteys.
White boys.
We need that pepperoni. I'd be okay with bulgogi, but no sweet potatoes. I'll pass.
Yeah, no corn either.
Yeah, no corn.
Please, Legend.
I will text Legend before he orders the pizza.
Good idea. And Rogue looking pretty sad.
I mean, that was a nasty last few games he had to fight his way through. In the last game, like, he kind of just all-in and then
It
he
just
couldn't
failed.
transition out.
It's such a hard map to try and do that on as well. It's just so many chokes. Oh, well.
Well, we're going to have an interview here with our winner. Sojong is here to translate.